Welcome to the Positively Insane Podcast. This is episode 22. I'm Kevin Alexander. I will be your host and spirit guide for the next 15 minutes of your life. So, not much is going on. Had a decent week, feeling good about it. Be feeling better about the upcoming weeks. Trying to keep my shit motivated, keep my shit together. A little bit late on this podcast, I'm sorry. It's feeling like shit most of Thursday and Friday. So y'all gonna get this fucking episode on Saturday instead of Friday. Try to make sure I get Monday's episode on time for you, but at the same time, you're just gonna have to deal with it if I don't. So, something I've been noticing, something I've been wanting to kind of rant about, this is gonna be a little bit of a rant cast. Is this whole green light project. Now, I'm going to start off by saying I'm not a military veteran. I'm not related to anybody in the military, but I do have friends that are veterans. I've been homeless with veterans. I've been out there with them, when they come back and I see the bullshit that they have to deal with and struggle with, and they're virtually abandoned when they leave the military. One of my best friends, Emily, she's in the Army. She spent a year in, I want to say, Afghanistan. It's a year away from her newborn son at the time. I think he was maybe a year old. A year away from her family. And, that's a big sacrifice. I respect that. I respect what our troops sacrifice. Let me say that. I respect what our troops sacrifice. I respect them for being strong enough to do what they do. That being said, now this is no disrespect to those people. This is no disrespect to their families. And no disrespect to anybody who's lost their lives in service to our country. I might support them, I might respect them, but under no circumstances do I support why they are where they are, where they're being sent, why they're being sent there. I don't support most of the military actions our country has taken in the last century, to be honest. There's a few, but most of the time it comes out that a lot of the reasons we did what we did was fucking for some bullshit. So I just can't support that. But to my original point, again, there's nothing against the men and women in our military. I don't blame them, I don't judge them. It's our military leaders, our government. They're the ones I have issue with. But back to the Green Light Project and our fucking veterans. Now, I don't know how they feel about it. I haven't actually asked any veterans about it. But I can only imagine when you sacrifice years of your life, perhaps you sacrifice body parts, your fucking mental health. Maybe you've lost friends over there, you've lost family over there. You do what you do, and you come back a broken individual, you come back a broken human being. You have very little support here in the States. I mean, the mental health system is fucked. You get zero support there. You get zero... these people are out on the streets because they're too fucked up to work. They have nowhere to go. There's no housing available. There's nothing set up for these people. They're literally abandoned. And the average citizen has zero understanding of what these people are going through, zero respect for their struggle, and they just don't get it, so nobody gives a fuck. And then you get this fucking Green Light Project, which in my opinion has gotta be a slap in the face. It's got to be a fucking slap in the face. You know, like, oh, I'm going to go do all this shit. I'm going to sacrifice what I sacrificed. I'm going to come back completely fucked, have my country and my country folk abandon me. But you know what? At least people are buying green light bulbs. You know, at least when I go outside, rooting through motherfuckers' garbage, trying to find something to eat, I see green light bulbs on people's porches at night. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I can't imagine how our veterans actually feel. You know, maybe some people enjoy it. Maybe some people, you know, feel the love. But I imagine there are others who every time they see one of those green lights, it's just a big fuck you. And I see them all over town. You know, and all I can think this whole time is, you're not supporting our veterans. You're making some fucking light bulb company a shitload of money. Somebody's making a shitload of money off these green light bulbs. And it sure as fuck ain't veterans. You know, like, we couldn't think of something better? We couldn't think of something fucking better? Come on, America. Seriously. I am super disappointed. You know, I've been pissy about this for a while, and I just keep seeing these green lights pop up around, and it's just a fucking, it's just a social badge. You know, look at me. Oh, my neighbor's got a green light. I better get one too so nobody judges me. You know, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. What are these people doing to actually help veterans? Buying a fucking light bulb? God, that's fucking bullshit. You know, I'm sorry. If the veterans disagree with me, I'll eat my fucking words, you know, because like I said, I'm not a military vet. I haven't been there, I haven't done that. You know, if these light bulbs actually make vets feel better, then awesome, more power to the project. I just can't imagine that it does. To me, it seems super disrespectful. The whole I support the troops, you get these fucking bumper stickers, these goddamn fucking window stickers. Everyone's got a fucking flag in the yard. Everyone's got these fucking green light bulbs. But our veterans are suffering. They're homeless. They're hungry. They're cold. You know, we got a war on the fucking homeless in America. You know, how many? And right here, I see fucking 3 green light bulbs right here. 3 green light bulbs. You know what? For those 3 green light bulbs, I know 3 homeless veterans on my Facebook right now. I know 3. At least 3. That's fucked up. Only Americans are fucking retarded, you know what I mean? Whatever it takes to make them feel good about themselves. Like, oh, I'm gonna sport this fucking flag, I'm gonna put up this green light bulb, and people are gonna see me and, oh, that motherfucker gives a shit. Good job, motherfucker. You know, meanwhile, our fucking troops are dying, or they're fucking committing suicide in droves because their minds are so fucking shattered. It's bullshit. We can do better, America. We can fucking do better. And not just with the veterans. I'm talking with the homeless epidemic in general. These people aren't out there just because they're lazy, just because they're drug addicts. You know, a lot of them have mental health issues. The mental health system in America is fucking, it's atrocious. You know, I suffer with mental health issues my own damn self. And the system is so goddamn terrible, you know, I don't even consider it an option. So it's like if I can't figure it out my own damn self, I don't even feel like there's somewhere to go for help, because everyone I know gets misdiagnosed. Everyone's getting force-fed fucking medications that they probably don't need. Half the time, it's not a biological issue. It's not a chemical issue. It's not something you can fix with fucking drugs. It's something you need to fix with a lifestyle change. That's what my issue is. That's where all my suffering comes from. You know, once I get my train on the tracks and I get my shit moving and I become successful at what I do, I'm not gonna have these struggles. A lot of the problem is the fucked up way the society is set up. Fucking civilization. Everyone's on this fucking never-ending hamster wheel of bullshit. You don't feel like you can get off. Once you get on it, you're stuck in this perpetual fucking cycle trying to dig your way out of the hole. And if you stop for even just 1 second, the hole fucking gets twice as deep every fucking day. You know? We live in a society where people have to get lucky. People have to get lucky, or they have to suffer to the point that it's fucking ridiculous just to try and attempt to achieve their goals, to achieve their dreams. You know, that it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't have to live miserably. Yeah, I mean, people expect you to know what you want to spend the rest of your life doing by the time you turn 18. I didn't fucking know until I was 28. That's 10 years too late. I fucking passed up college. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so why was I going to waste life, you know, in a system of education chasing after, you know, careers that I didn't want to do. And then when I finally figure out what I do want to do, I'm already so far in the fucking hellhole that, you know, I'm looking at homelessness, you know, in the past, you know, the charity of friends and family, just to try to fucking dream about fucking chasing my goals. It's ridiculous. You know, here I'm probably halfway to the end of my fucking life. And, you know, I don't know. I went off on a goddamn tangent here and I kind of lost it. Let me bring it back. Long story short, fuck these green lights. And you know what? If you're not happy doing what you're doing, fuck what you're doing. Fuck what your friends and family say. Chase your goals, chase your dreams, follow your heart. Even if you gotta suffer. Try not to make others around you suffer in the process, but do what you gotta do. Because shit's fucked up. America's fucked up. Society's fucked up. And the only way to truly be happy is to never give up and go against the grain. Take that leap of faith. I'm going to cut it short a little bit early because I am where I need to be. You can no longer find me on Facebook under Jasmine the Destroyer because those fucking cunts forced me to provide ID and change my name. So you'll have to find me under Kevin Jones. That's just going to be temporary though. I might change my name legally to Jasmine the Destroyer because I give no fucks. But anyway, you can find me on YouTube. You can email me. You can get me on Tumblr, all under Positively Insane Podcast. You know, I'm on Twitter, Positively IPC. Oh shit, almost slipped. Fucking find me, email me. Let's get together, let's do some shit. Alright, peace niggas. I'm out.